Chapter 7. Epiphany by the Fire. An old wooden house on the edge of the forest greeted them with the scent of dry wormwood and long-cooled stove smoke. The rain outside no longer fell. It fell from the sky in a solid, heavy wall, cutting off the dacha from the outside world and washing away the only dirt road back to town. There was no electricity. The only source of light was the stub of a paraffin candle sitting in a deep clay bowl on the floor. Mark was already asleep in the corner on a narrow sofa, covered with a heavy sheepskin coat. Arthur sat on the floor, his back pressed against the log wall. In the darkness, his silhouette seemed sharp, almost alien, but his eyes no longer had their usual glossy gleam. Nora sat down next to him. Outside the window, water crashed with a dull roar. Drip, 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 drop after drop fell methodically from the roof, straight into a bucket on the veranda. I was afraid, Arthur said quietly. He didn't look at her, staring into the steady, barely flickering candle flame. His voice was unusually hollow, lacking its usual aristocratic accent. All these years, afraid that if I openly said no to them, there would be nothing left of me. I was taught to be a function, Nora, a number in the matricula, an architect of capital. Nora was silent. She simply listened, as the years of falsehood drained from him with the sound of the rain. And I left, she whispered, turning to face him. Not because I didn't love you. I simply realized that in your world they would break me, or make me as lifeless as your portraits in the hall. I couldn't breathe there, Arthur. And here, he turned his head. In the dim light of the room, their gazes met. There were no longer any contractual terms. No 10 o'clock clause, no fear of the Octant 9 syndicate. There was only this small room, the rustling autumn elements, and two people who had hidden behind rules for too long. Arthur reached out and gently, barely touching, ran his fingers over her cheek, brushing away a fallen strand of hair. Nora didn't pull away. On the contrary, she pressed her palm to his, feeling her cool skin warm under his touch. The tension that had built up over 6 years collapsed in a single second. He pulled her to him, greedily, almost desperately, as if trying to fill all the years they had spent apart. The candle on the floor flickered, casting long, intertwined shadows on the log wall. When the flame burned down to its very bottom and was extinguished in liquid wax, only the monotonous patter of rain on the old roof remained. Nora lay on his chest, listening to the steady, strong beat of his heart. Arthur, she called softly in the darkness. Yes, what are we going to do when the rain stops?